Man, what's good, Johnny Dumbbell? We in the
Man,
building.
a lot of things. Business is good. Things are really heating up here in Pittsburgh. Literally, we had like 3 days in the 90s in a row, so it's my kind of weather. I like that stuff. I don't know why. I'm sick. It's one of those things I like to bike and run in. I don't know. How's things over the Mahoning Valley?
Oh man, it's lovely out here in Youngstown. It's a great time of year, Johnny. There are women outside everywhere I go, every day, everything I do, bro. They're really out here. And you just can't take me anywhere, Johnny. I'm telling you. So what's up, Johnny? We got Ask Your Favorite Uncles tonight.
We do, yeah,
Hey, this is one of my
yeah. That's
favorite
right, Bill.
shows. I love helping these young men and answering their questions and just giving them the the push and the right step that they need to help become the best versions of themselves possible.
Or at least a kick in the ass to get him away from the wrong decision at the very least.
Well, and that's the thing, Johnny. It's all love here, but sometimes that means it's tough love. And a lot of people aren't ready to face their own accountability in the situation that they're in. So we can give an
Yeah,
advice, we can give advice or we can give an advisement, but it's up to these young men to take that and turn it into something in their lives. So what
yeah. I mean,
let's
listen, it's one thing to know better. It's another thing to have lived it and found out that you know better.
all right, Johnny. You know what? Let me go ahead and introduce myself. My name is William. Let me
Let's do it.
thank everybody watching tonight. I genuinely appreciate you. Welcome to my channel. It's called William the Conqueror, where I can show you how to conquer the hearts and minds of women the world over, but only if you first have the ability to conquer yourself. We talk a lot about self-discipline here, and I live that myself. Johnny, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
So I'm Johnny Dumbbell. I'm a personal trainer and life coach out here in beautiful Pittsburgh. So what I'm here to do is I'm here to share my successes in a small part and in large part my failures. Believe me, large part, so that you guys don't make the same mistakes I did when it comes to self-respect, self-discipline, self-improvement, women relationships, personal growth, and by that I mean physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, whatever you want to call it. Here's the disclaimer I like to give you guys: if you're contemplating doing something and it sounds stupid, risky, expensive, foolish, whatever it might happen to be, and you're not 100% sure if you should go through with it, please leave it in the comments. Shoot us a DM, shoot me an email. I'll put that in the description or in the comments. Before you do it, please, because chances are one of us has probably done it and most likely learned the hard way either how to do it right or wrong or whether or not to do it at all. And I mean, usually you probably shouldn't do it. In short, though, we are the uncles that they all talk about. You can learn a lot from if you listen to a few of those stories closely.
All right, well said, Johnny. All right, gentlemen, or should I say nephews, you got your uncles right here, and you guys can ask us anything you want in the chat. We have a call-in number. Let me get that up in case any of you guys want to call in and ask your questions anonymously. And as always, feel free to write Johnny Dumbbell with your questions. That's why we put our links in the bio for everything. And you can send me questions too. I'll forward them over to Johnny. We will get them on the show, nephews. Whatever it takes to help you out, it's all love, and we're here for you.
And guys, please, grammar. I mean, I'll try to understand what you're trying to say, but some of these are atrocious, and I really want to be able to help you. And if I can't read what you're trying to tell me, it's not going to help. Remember, it's like an English teacher once told me in high school: capitalize proper nouns, because that can make the difference between helping your Uncle Jack off his horse and,
Okay, well,
anyway.
all right, Johnny. What we got tonight? What's our
That's not,
first question for
that's
us?
not bad for the algorithm, right? We can say that. All right. We have three questions, and I got to tell you, there's definitely a common theme to each or to all of them as a collective. And so one of the ones that the first one that I want to go with, this is from Jesus. He says,
What's
"I'm
up,
the relation." Hey, what's up, buddy? So our nephew Jesus says, "I'm the relationship placeholders guy. He says, male 33. Over the past few years, I've had about 5 relationships, each lasting around 4 to 5 months. Every single one of them ended the same way. The girl went back to her ex. Today, I found out that my most recent relationship also ended for that exact same reason. Um, she chose to go back to the guy she was with before me. It's starting to feel like I'm the in between guy, the emotional rebound, the placeholder until they decide to return to their past. Honestly, I know Uncles Johnny and William will tell me to suck it up, get out there, and make contact. But now I'm at a point where I've completely lost the will to look for something new or try to build anything again. It feels pointless. Right now, I'm considering staying single for a very long time.
Are you, nephew? Are you kidding me? Okay, look, we talk about it's all love here and it's tough love. So I'm going to go first and I'm going to give you some tough love. You were doing things in each of those relationships to make the women lose interest in you and look at their ex as the better option. My guess, and I'm just going out on a limb here, is that you don't know how to smash them right. You don't know how to turn them on. You don't know how to excite a passion within them that makes them want to rip your clothes off. Because when your woman is mounting you, when you're in private and can't keep her hands off you everywhere you go, she is not going to go back to an ex. She's not looking in the past. She's looking towards the future. So
Yeah, I
you're
mean,
doing things to turn this woman off. My guess is you can't smash, but it could be you're saying the wrong things. So that might be it too. Third thing, nephew, you're doing some sucker shit and they're picking up on it. You're probably being emotional, feminine. Look, what do you think, Johnny? What do you
well,
see here as the problem?
I think there's something to be said for what you're describing, but I think it's not just his ability or inability to smash. I think it also has a little bit to do with the fact that even if he could smash, if he's displaying those weakness or those weak leaning characteristics, I can't even talk tonight. Um, there is going to be a loss of respect whether he can smash or not. Because here's the thing: she can be interested in having relations with you for the physical pleasure, therefore. But here's the thing: if she finds a guy who's not as good physically as you, but knows how to get to her this way in that same realm, that's going to be a guy she's going to be more in tune with. That's going to be a biological attraction. In this case, it's purely physical, it's purely sexual at best. At best. And see, the problem with this is, so even if his prowess wasn't the question, it could just be her lack of respect for him, no matter what he's able to do behind closed doors. If she doesn't respect you, if you're lucky, she might use you for that every once in a great while when she's bored. But the thing of it is, right now, the smartest thing I think you could have said here was probably that last part where you said, "Right now, I'm considering staying single for a very long time." Jesus, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, for right now, I would do that. And I'll tell you what I would do in that amount of time. And I'll tell you, young men, the same thing. I would accept the Johnny Dumbbell get off your ass challenge. If you're not already, and you didn't really indicate either way, but I mean, hey, tell me in the comments if you're watching this if I'm wrong. If you're not already, though, I want you to get to the gym 3 times a week for 4 weeks. After those 4 weeks, I want you to get an extra day in. I want you to go to the gym 4 times a week for 4 more weeks. And I'd like to hear from you every couple weeks, see how you're doing. Because along that way, not only you're going to become physically stronger, but your mind is going to go places that without that kind of activity, it probably wouldn't go. And while that doesn't sound like much of an intellectual trip, um, it is more of an emotional one. It is more of a spiritual one, so to speak, if that's something you believe in, whatever it happens to be. It's definitely something that makes you stronger up here as well. You start to know your limits and you start to know how far you can go, and then you start to challenge that. And I think that's what needs to happen before you try to display what you have to offer. I think you need to create a few things that you have to offer yourself. And I think you owe it to yourself at this point to self improve. Um, improving yourself is going to improve your relations around you, no matter what realm.
Well, Johnny, how you do one thing is how you do all things. So when you put a lot of time and effort into yourself, women pick up on that because they want a man who's going to put time and effort into them. Now, Here's the thing. You're getting into relationships way too soon, nephew. You said you've been in how many in the last 3 years? 5, 6, something
It's
like
5.
that?
Yep.
5?
Yeah, he
Okay.
says he's averaging about 4 to 5 months per relationship here.
Because you're not vetting these women properly or long enough. You shouldn't be in a relationship with these women for a year. It
I'll
should be
build.
12 months of vetting, making sure they are consistent and they deserve to be in your life before you agree to be monogamous with them.
I'll take it a step further than that. Not only are you not creating a program for them to follow, you are probably trying to fit their program. And once again, when that happens, number one, she loses respect for you, realizing that not only can you not leave, but you are looking for her to do the same. And number two, you've given her no real reason to have that biological draw to you, that thing that says, this is a strong companion that I could have, that I could rely on, whether it's DNA or protection or having a fun Friday night. This is something that she maybe thinks that you would not be capable of, among other things.
Okay, Jesus. So we need to come up with a game plan here for you.
Mhm.
So Johnny thinks that you should stay away from women
Until you
I,
like you, and believe me, when you like you, you'll know.
yeah, well, here's the thing though, because when you start to love you, the ladies pick up on that. They really do want to be in love with a man who loves himself. I'm telling you this from my experience, nephew. And that's because when you love yourself, you are in control of your emotions. So you're not going to run behind that woman. You're not going to get all upset with her. You're not going to get obsessed over her. You're not going to start questioning her. There's a
Poor
lot to
Brian.
it. But you really do need to work on yourself. And if the gym's not for you, there are other ways of doing that. Johnny and I prefer the gym as a way to build consistency in your life and earn self-respect through that consistency. So, but there's lots of ways to do that. You could improve yourself by learning a new skill, a new trade, trying to better your life, going after some of your goals. Do you even have goals? That'd be another question I'd have for you. What are your top 3 goals that you want to accomplish over the next year? And if you tell me getting into another sucker relationship, we're going to have a problem, nephew.
Yeah, instead of saying finding a girl that loves me, try changing that to finding a girl I can love. Because that choice is yours, and that's something that you are going to have to make a decision on, and you're never going to be able to make a clear-headed decision on such a thing until you love yourself first. You got to be somebody. If you're going to be somebody that you love, then you can be somebody that somebody else can love.
I absolutely agree with that, Johnny.
All right. So, yeah, Jesus, man. Yeah, thanks for writing in, man. We appreciate it. We always love hearing from you guys, nephews. I don't care if we put one of your questions on here before. Don't think that we won't answer another one on here. So, sometimes it gets a little hard to. I get a little worried sometimes I won't get enough questions in for the weekly show, but we get them in. And but I mean, don't think that we won't put your question on a second time if you get something else.
We want
We're here for
follow-up
you.
questions. We want you to tap in and let us know how you're doing. We want to hear from you that the stuff that we're telling you to do to improve your life is working. We want you guys to be our success stories. So please follow up.
So yeah, but yeah, shout out to Jesus, man. We're rooting for you, buddy.
Nephews, if any of you ever think I'm capping, it is your duty and responsibility to call me out on it. So put in the comments you ever think that what I'm saying is cap, and we'll chop it up because we're here for you guys to learn from. So maybe you just don't understand something and you need me to elaborate a little bit more on it. So I'm holding all of you accountable to go ahead and check me if you don't believe me.
Yeah, maybe we're just your crazy uncles. Who knows? Anyway.
Hey, well, I'm the favorite Uncle John. I'm just letting you know. I talked to nephews before the show started, and turns out I'm their favorite uncle. So, shout out to me.
It's the beard, man. It's the beard. I got this little dusting of snow right here I'm working on, man, but I don't like this is darker. I'm trying to get that in, but I'm trying to go with the goatee thing. We'll see how it goes. We'll see. Anyway, the question 2. This is from Carson. Carson says, and it took me a second to understand what he was asking here, but he says, not sure if I should give up my personality as it would as maybe it would improve my dating. Now, what he means by that is he says, I'm a 21-year-old man and I am flawed. My appearance isn't great, but I have done what Johnny Dumbbell tells us with regard to getting to the gym, though I admit that I need to be a little more consistent. I dress nice, stay well groomed, and have decent posture. My face isn't something most people would like, but I don't think that's why I've failed in dating. My personality is different, so effed up that no matter what I do, I will end up alone. I don't like social media and have stayed off, although your show has given me a reason to use YouTube a little more often these days. All right, cool. And I definitely don't like dating apps. I like silence, reading, and stop motion animation. I'm guessing he means claymation on that one. Um, as I said above, I exercise. By the way, I am halfway through the Johnny Dumbbell's Get Off Your Ass challenge, and it's getting easier. All right. Yeah, good stuff. But he does admit, he says, but it's not a hobby I enjoy. Hey, man, it's not for everybody.
Yeah, I spent a whole year working out and hated it. Like the first whole year I did it, I just despised it and did it to stay consistent. And lately, it's especially them early mornings. I don't want to get up and go to the gym. Those are the workouts that benefit me the most. Okay, now back to our nephew
with Carson,
here.
Man, I'm telling you.
No, we're not done with his question, but I got a few problems with what he's saying right off the rip. So I need to put him onto some game real quick. Johnny, nephew, look, let me tell you something. It's really important that you don't do any kind of negative self-thoughts or negative self-speaking. Don't talk about yourself in a negative manner.
Yep.
So when I hear you talk down about your looks like that means anything, it kind of shows me what you think of yourself, that you don't think very highly of yourself. And this lack of confidence in you is going to emanate into other parts of your life. Women are going to be able to sniff that out immediately, and so are other men, especially people who looking to take advantage of you. So you got to stop with the negative self-thoughts, the negative self-talking. I'm glad you're doing the Johnny Dumbbell challenge, but before Johnny continues, I just wanted to correct you on that, because I know that's not what your question is, and our answers might not cover that, but I got to tell you how important self-love is. And if you really love yourself, you wouldn't dare talk bad about yourself, nephew. Come on now.
All right, Johnny, I mean, the thing of it is you can hate your face all you want, but as soon as you start to like the person behind that face, you're going to start to like the face. Sounds weird, but I'm telling you, when that happens, it'll happen. The big problem is, he says, is I'm outwardly awkward. Whenever I open my stupid mouth, girls can sense it. When they realize I'm not in their league, he puts that in quotes, it pushes them away. I have tried therapy and antidepressants, but nothing seems to work. I got this idea. What if I rip it all up and get rid of my interests and my quirks and my personality and just do everything in my power to imitate them? Sorry if it's sort of a life overhaul of my persona. I've lived my entire life listening to me and trusting my instincts. And what has that gotten me? I don't think my mind can be trusted. I need to change. Maybe if I do this, I can finally feel a warm hand wrapped around mine, or have someone I can talk to about anything, someone I could listen to about their life and their interests and their struggles. I am really tired of me. You can call me pathetic and say this lack of my lack of confidence is my problem, but damn, I've never seen how being myself would lead to a happy life. Arson. Okay, so
why do you hate yourself?
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm going there with that. Yeah, the thing what I'm hearing here is that I think he's frustrated. So I think I got to add in there that it's probably a lot of it speaking out of frustration at this point. So, I mean, maybe he's being a little bit more cruel to himself than he otherwise would be. I feel like something must have just happened to him. Maybe, I don't know. But here's where I'm kind of leaning with this though. Is you're 21 years old. You haven't even established what your persona is yet. How could you know whether or not it was flawed? Number two, there is nobody who's ever lived on this planet that's better at being you than you. So that's not flawed. That's called the unique qualities that make Carson somebody other than somebody who's not Carson. What's got to happen here is, I don't care what you look like. I don't care, I mean, I don't care what kind of shape you're in. The fact of the matter is the minute that you like you can actually start to move on, move up, and establish who you are in your own, in your own mind, in your own life, how you want your direction to go. Um, until you do that, though, I don't want you treading water like I was at your age because I thought those same kinds of things in certain areas. I felt either I was awkward or everybody else was, but I was looking for every excuse that it couldn't be me. I'm glad that you're actually coming to us and saying, "Look, I know that there's some things that I can improve on. I can maybe get in shape, learn some game." It doesn't say whether or not you work out, but I always recommend my challenge to you. I'm not going to say it again, but you know what it is. Um, but I think that the biggest thing that we need to do is we need to make sure that not only are you going to the gym to become a better version of yourself, it's more the reasons that you're doing it. I want you to get there because you like yourself enough to make yourself better. I want you to like yourself enough to want to like yourself more because I think that's really what it boils down to. That's what that consistency is going to get you. That's what hanging in there and getting there and especially on the days you didn't necessarily initially feel like it, even like $1,000,000 because you just overcame that and the workout. I want you to know that feeling, and I want you to like yourself for getting yourself acquainted with that feeling. Bill,
Johnny, one of the things I really love about some women is they are just full of so much wisdom. And you know what? Stacy here makes a very great point. This young man probably needs therapy.
yeah,
She says, in all sincerity, please get therapy.
yep.
Changing for someone else will never work. And she is right on point about that. So
And
shout
listen,
out to
young
her.
men, yeah, absolutely,
Here's the thing. Look, person, the homie TK talks a lot about spending time by yourself alone and getting to know yourself. And at 21, like Johnny makes a really good point. How well do you even know yourself? How much time have you spent with yourself? A lot of your likes are what you think you like. You're socially conditioned to think that. So it's whatever's trending on TikTok is what you think is cool. And that's not it. You got to get to know yourself a little bit better.
yep.
So once you do that, once you establish principles for your life, a standard for how you want to live it, once you develop a program for how you're going to live your life, things will become a little bit easier for you. But I really want you to take Stacy's advice and go speak to a therapist because you did do quite a bit of negative self-talking there. It's obvious
Yeah.
to me that you're not in love with yourself and you need to figure out why. And I don't think it comes from you not knowing yourself. I think you have some other things you might be embarrassed to talk to your uncles about, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Carson, I need you to understand it. The reason we do this, the reason why we allow you guys to write in and answer these questions anonymously is so that we can put them up for the whole class because, nephew, you're not the only one that has these kind of problems. You guys need out there are others that could benefit from this information, and we want to help as many of you that we can.
And that's why we're so grateful when you guys write in because you're putting a spotlight on problems that, believe it or not only are you not the only one who's dealt with this kind of thing, but I think your problem that you're bringing to us, and these feelings that you're sharing with us are not as unique as you might think. I felt that way very, very, not all of those ways, but that was almost verbatim how I felt when I was your age, kid. And I'm going to level with you. I see a therapist. I see one once a week, and I'm going to tell you what, there's nothing wrong with that. Nowadays, I think we're finally starting to become more aware, especially of adult men's mental health. And, I'm learning a lot about how that works too. And just the first couple of sessions that I've had here so far, these are all things that we should be doing. And these are things that if we don't know that we can handle ourselves, and look, there's things that Uncle Bill and we're not qualified to tell you. We're not qualified to show you. We're not qualified to even begin to know what you need to hear as far as that goes. But we can tell you that we love you. We want to know that you're feeling confident and healthy and walking and talking with your chest. And if that is going to require the help of a licensed professional, I think not only is it a good idea that you try it, I highly recommend it. And I think you're going to be the better
get
for
in
it.
the car.
Really
Johnny's going to take you there, nephew.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear no arguing either. I'm going to get real Joe Jackson here in a second.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of where we we've got to be able to love ourselves enough to help ourselves. And sometimes that's the second step right after admitting that you need to help in the first place. So, you know, yeah.
All right. So look, bro, I'm a big advocate for some ink. If you really hate your face that bad, go get a face tattoo, my guy. I mean, come on, get something you absolutely love to look at on your face. Do that. How about that? Just saying. Just an idea for your nephew.
I
Face
mean, I
tat.
think you do. I think you do well to just have love yourself tattooed backwards. You can see it in the mirror and remind himself every day. I mean, that'd probably be worth the wait. I mean, no, I joke, but I mean, I think this would be a really good idea for you to, kind of have a chance to not only pull it together physically, like it looks like you're doing with the challenge, but I think it's good to bounce some ideas off somebody who's been there before, or at least somebody who knows what to tell you, or and I'm not implying anything with this, but maybe what's prescribed, whatever it happens to be.
And look, until you can get yourself together, you got no business dating. You don't need to come to a woman in pieces. You need to be a whole man who has healed himself from whatever emotional traumas you have experienced in your past and not push that weight off onto a woman and expect her to carry your emotional baggage, bro. So please get to a therapist. Please continue to write us. Please continue to be involved in these streams. It's all love here. We appreciate you, nephew.
Now that I know how far into the Johnny Dumbbell challenge you are, I'm going to be following up with you, buddy. Let's keep it going.
All right, let's do that.
Yeah. All right. So we've got Ben, and Ben says, I mean, I kind of get what he's saying here. He says, "I hate how much of a game dating has become. The title says it all. All the self-imposed rules and hoops you have to jump through nowadays drive me insane. I'm talking things like the 3-month rule, the no double texting rule, acting nonchalant, playing hard to get, ghosting, people expecting the other person to read their mind, etc. Not to mention dating apps make you strategically curate your profile to perfection, which I understand you guys also have a podcast topic on. Dating sometimes feels, by the way, that's on Thursday nights. Dating sometimes
Shout
feels
out to the
more like a
Bumble.
mind game. Yes. Dating sometimes feels more like a mind game than a genuine connection with another person. So I should tell you that I'm new to your show, a new nephew, I guess. So many questions I have, including why am I expected to do all these different things to have some level of success? Why do people find it unattractive to show interest? Why do I have to sit here guessing if someone's into me or not? You don't. We're gonna break that one down for you real quick. Why should I have to adjust my personality to be the right amount of mysterious or whatever? Why can't I just be me? And finally, why does it feel like I'm walking on eggshells and one wrong message away from being ghosted? I completely understand that people have boundaries and standards, and there's nothing wrong with that, but some of the behaviors that have been normalized are just so ridiculous to me. It's exhausting to feel like I have to put on a performance just to get someone to look my way. It's like people are looking less for authenticity and more for excitement. It feels impossible sometimes. Now, I'm going to give you a hot take on this. At least this guy thinks somewhat highly of himself because he's not asking why does nobody like me. He's asking, dude, I know what a good guy I am, but I can't be genuine around people. I can't be the self of mine that I think I'm a good guy. Now, here's the thing: do you just think you're cool, or do you actually like yourself? Are you that guy you bump fists with at work, or are you guys actually friends? It's kind of the same, right around the same ballpark. Um, it really sounds to me like you're kind of halfway to the right idea, but not quite. I think, first of all, I think one of the main things you need to understand, one of the first things you mentioned were the self-imposed rules, such as the 3-month rule. And I saw Bill kind of smile when I mentioned that too. He was thinking the same thing I am. So
What is the 3-month rule?
the 3-month rule is that the belief that a girl is going to date you for 3 months before anything intimate happens. Now, Bill and I can tell you about rules, can't we? What do we know about her rules?
I know that women will
That's
break every rule they have when you give them a reason to.
What reason might that be?
Well, several. Okay, it's deep, honestly, because they don't like guys who.
Well, the point is, if they're attracted to you, they'll break the rules.
Thank you for shortening that up, Johnny. But there's
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to like jump in.
Okay, there's a surface level attraction. There's the deeper emotional connection. There's, like I said, there's a lot to it. We could do a whole show on just attraction and how to be attractive.
Yeah, that's why I like to call it the biological attraction. It's kind of like that mixture of the mind and the body having that draw to that other person. I think that we are a little bit of a distance away from that with Ben right here, right now. Because I think the problem with Ben is that he needs to have a little more confidence in himself and his understanding of that very fact. That 3-month rule can get broken in 2 or 3 days if she's attracted to you, my friend.
Hey, ladies, let me know, when did you start making these suckers wait 3 months? Like, I thought it was funny y'all had the 3-date rule, but I
heard a little bit about it a couple years back, but I didn't really.
When it went from 3 dates to 3 months, and which one y'all allowed it?
I don't remember the last time I waited 3 months.
Oh,
I think I was in high school.
Man.
No, I mean, and Ben, we're not laughing at you. We're laughing with you. But yes, the 3-month rule is an absolutely ridiculous thing, especially if there's an actual biological attraction. You're both consenting adults. And I think that at that particular point, the 3-month rule is probably more meant to generate an anticipation and an excitement and see maybe how badly you want it, or whatever it happens to be. But the fact of the matter is that if she is genuinely biologically attracted to you, that rule book goes out the window. And I mean, listen, that's biology. It doesn't mean that somebody, is just, oh, she's just a bimbo that can't. No. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying a genuine sexual biological attraction is going to elicit that lack of self-imposed injunctions. Okay. Or inhibitions.
Okay. Stacy says, when I like a guy, there's no 3-month rule. 3 months in, she's likely not into you.
Bless that bitch.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely, and that's as real as it gets. That's as real as it gets.
We've covered the 3-month rule. What was the next thing he was a little upset?
Let's see. Well, the no double texting rule, and here's the thing: is I understand that he knows that the rule exists, but I don't think he understands why the rule exists.
I just need to know why you guys have time to double and triple text women. I really want to know.
Is a response,
much
kid.
Time on your hands. I don't. I need somebody to let me know in the comments how you have that much time in your day to double and triple text women. I won't even talk to a woman all day if she doesn't text me first, because I am so busy. I don't have time to send good morning messages to all the women that want me to say good morning to them. I just don't. So to be fair, I go about my day, and if a woman wants to talk to me, she wants to make communication with me, she's going to get in touch with me, because I don't run behind women. I got way too much stuff to do. And the fact that you guys are double and triple texting these women, look, sometimes women are busy. Sometimes people are driving. They don't want to text while they drive, but everybody's phone is by them. They will get back to you when it's convenient for them. And here's something else I need you guys to understand. When you first meet women, you're not a priority in their life. Their cat is a priority. Their friends are a priority. Their family is a priority. Certainly not some dude they just met. So stop thinking you're her priority until you make yourself her priority, nephew. Come on now.
Well, and that brings us to the next thing he says, acting nonchalant. What I'm guessing he means is maybe not texting her 2-3 times in a row. Coming across as needy, frankly. And that's just it. The opposite of nonchalant is going to be needy in your particular situation. Now, what Bill just said, he's got things he's got to do. That doesn't mean he's acting nonchalant. It means that he's got something going on with his life. So that the girl that's texting him, he's got this nonchalant thing going on. No, it's not because he's nonchalant. It's because she knows that he's probably busy doing something productive as a man.
Working, podcasting, Okay, Stacy says
Grooming his beard.
I need to know that too. I work full time, parenting, etc. Texting all day is insane, but they will reach out to you if they want to. Too much is a turnoff. So that brings me back to my point. Too much is a turnoff. That's why you're not supposed to double and triple text them. So you're not turning them off and then they ghost you, which was your next problem, nephew, right? Ghosting. That was one of the other things you mentioned.
Actually, that was the very next thing. Yep.
Yeah, ghosting. So that's why you're getting ghosted is because of that double, triple texting. You're coming across as needy. You're turning them off. And now they don't want to communicate with you anymore.
Yeah. And as far as curating your online profile to perfection, which is the next thing he mentioned, Ben, I don't, it doesn't look like you're watching live, but I strongly suggest that you tune in Thursday night. We're going to be going over the Bumble profiles. We're going to be showing you what you're likely to see seeking out the ladies, but we're also going to be talking to you about some things that you're going to want to do if you are going to have a profile on this particular app as well. So, I mean, yeah, we do actually do a show like that. It's Thursday nights at 9:30. I'd really love to see that you at least got a chance to see it, whether live or later on. But yeah, it's that we can kind of help you out with, at least by giving you an outline of what maybe you should be putting in.
All right, well, here's the thing, nephew. If you come on to the live, we will help you with your profile. We'll tell you what prompts to pick. We'll help you answer them. Like, we'll help you set this up if you need help with this. I know you don't like doing it, but here's what you need to understand. As men, we go through our life not liking the things that we have to do, but it's necessary for us to do them to get to where we want to be in life. So if you're really looking for somebody that you're compatible with, building a good, solid online dating profile will assist you in that because you're going to reach dozens and hundreds of women every week. And some of them are going to be into you. So it's going to help you.
If you get into you first.
Exactly. All right.
Yeah,
And what else did he say?
Here's the most impactful, because the list of questions he gave us, we pretty much answered most of them with what we just said here. But the one that I really want to highlight is, why do I have to sit here guessing if someone's into me or not? Ben, the short answer is you don't. The short answer is you bottom line her actions and you read her body language, and the two of you do talk face to face. When she does certain things or doesn't do certain things, your question should be very simple. Is this the action of someone who is interested or the act of someone who is uninterested? You're going to have to give yourself some hard answers. You're going to have to let that ego take a jab here and there. It's good to have a jab to your ego rather than a smashed ego. And a smashed ego happens when you continue to be in denial, when you continue to justify either her behavior or yours. And so what I would say to you is, I would say, keep watching our show. It's me with my foosball, by the way. Keep watching our show and keep tuning in and keep finding out what we mean when we talk about indicators of interest. When we talk about reading her body language, whether you're sitting next to her or across from her, which, by the way, Bill, we know first dates we do what?
Oh, I do not sit across from women. I sit right next to them.
Very good. And why? It's a simple question. It's with a simple answer, because it is far easier to elicit contact in that way.
Yeah.
Not to mention,
Johnny, I'm in her ear. She is touching my arm, my knee. She's laughing. She's smiling. We better not be at a bar, because I might reach over, grab that bar stool, and pull that woman's seat closer to me, just so she gets, a little better smell of my beard, my cologne. Well, whatever the case may be. It might be easier to kiss on me. Who knows?
and Billy can do that because he follows the Johnny Dumbbell back workout and he does his rows. So,
anyway. You can tell, huh? You
hey, man,
I've been doing those.
It's the last thing I saw. So, that was horrible. But yeah, no, I would say, don't sit there guessing. Don't play the guessing game with yourself. The best thing I would tell you to do is, like I said, when you're face to face with her, you kind of read that body language, know what it means, know the difference between her leaning forward like this or leaning back like that. That should be a no-brainer, but to a lot of people, it's not. You're going to have to kind of get used to reading that kind of stuff. Number two, when it comes to,
I don't mean to interrupt you, but Stacy's got a good point here. She's
Mhm.
careful on that vice. Not everyone could pull that off. You know what? You're right. I probably should have
Oh
put
yeah,
a
no,
disclaimer
definitely. Yeah.
on that was some expert level, not for beginners. But still, these young men should
Stacey,
be
I just
sitting
let
next to
him.
these women and being very playful with them and seeing where it goes from there.
Stacey, I just kind of let him go when he starts on that. I mean, that's
No, I
we
love it when people call me out in the
we already
comments.
pissed off the algorithm a couple times.
Well, she's on point, man. That's not for everybody.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, definitely, Ben. I think that the questions you're asking are definitely questions that I wondered as a young man, just like you. So I mean, so don't be embarrassed about asking these questions, and I'm glad that you weren't. Um, but I mean, understand that some of these are the right questions to ask, some of them are not. I think you have I think you're on the right track, but I think at the same time you got to kind of learn what that track includes, and what I mean by that is understanding that this isn't some rule book that somebody made up. This isn't like, oh, everybody got together on social media and decided that this is the kind of guy they're going to be attracted to and not that one. That's kind of what it sounds like you're saying here. In reality, it just has to be a matter of you deciding who you are, where you're going, and what you do. And once you've figured out what that's going to be and made kind of a plan, at least for your near future, now you've got what they call a program. Now, at that point, you can continue working your plan just like you planned your work for quite some time and be alone the entire time you want to do that. The point is this: that is called focusing on you. And when you focus on you, miraculously, so will they, at least the right ones.
Okay, now it sounds to me, nephew, like you're doing an awful lot of complaining. Like you're complaining about putting in effort to be attractive to women. And that's what it takes, though. It takes a lot of work. If you want to be attractive, if you want to be a woman's best option, now this is going to sound really counterproductive, but if you want to be a woman's best option, you need to forget about women altogether and work on yourself and become the best version of you possible that you could possibly be on your discipline, working out so you're physically fit, you're careful of your diet. How can, if you're not careful of what you put in your mouth, how are you ever going to be careful about what comes out of it? So there's just so much you need to do to work on yourself. And when you become a better version of who you are, women, bro, you're not going to be able to keep them away from you. You're really not. So everywhere you go, it's like when I say you can't take me anywhere. I'm just being myself, enjoying myself, having a great time. But that's attractive to a lot of women. So they want to have conversations with me. And those conversations typically lead to more conversations that are private oftentimes. The reason I'm telling you all of this is because I have put a tremendous amount of effort into me, more positive energy than I could tell you in an hour-long podcast. And not a single bit of it was for women at all. They're a perk of the job, okay? We don't do things for women, nephew. We do things for us as men, and we don't complain about the stuff that we have to do for us. So this whole, oh, I'm going to give up, dating's too much work. Maybe you should, because you don't got what it takes.
At least
Just
for the time being, yeah.
Love for you.
Yep. Yeah, definitely. At least for the time being. I mean, that's something that I would say you're going to need to, yeah, if you don't focus on you, nobody's going to focus on you. Much less the ones you want focusing on you. Well, that's all I got for this week, Uncle Bill. What do you think? I think there's a common theme with all of these. I think, yeah, I definitely think there's a common theme, and I think that common theme is the need to build a little bit of self-trust, a little bit of self-love, so that you know how to perform a little bit of self-care, so that can add together up to self-improvement. I think that's gonna be you guys are gonna have to take a big dose of you, and if you don't like that dose, that's where you got to change the ingredients. All right, and that's going to be a process. It's not going to be easy, but that me pill is going to be very important for you to know, how to take, how often to take, and more importantly, how to make it work for you. Until you do that, don't expect a companion if you don't even like being around you. And I know that's I think it's a crazy thing to say. It's an even crazier thing to feel. And I think that a couple of you guys tonight probably feel that way, and that's not okay. And then you should not accept that as a standard for how you want to feel about yourself, and that should not be a standard that you should accept for even one day out of your week, let alone 7. Um, this is your life, man. You get one shot at it. That's it.
Now,
I appreciate you writing in. I'd like to follow up with you, but like I say, take that me pill. Order one on Amazon like Bill did if you have to, but remind yourself that today is a day to work on you.
I went to the manmindset.com and got with Steve the Dean Williams for my me pill. He gave me a lifetime supply. All right,
Nice.
so look, here's the thing. I know I talk about being the type of man that women fantasize about. And I know I talk a lot about how to be attractive to women and be the law of attraction in general. So I want to tell you, nephew, that you have to be careful of what you attract to you. So many of you are lonely and want companions. You're willing to accept women in your life that are no good for you. In fact, they're the opposite of good for you. They're detrimental to your progress and growth. So that's another reason why we preach an extensive vetting process for the women that you allow into your life. So don't run out there and just get the first chick that looks good. And you need to work on you. I understand that you're lonely, but you should not. I'm never lonely, nephew. I could be in Superman's fortress of solitude. Okay. I could go out into the wilderness for 40 days and 40 nights like Jesus and fast, and I wouldn't be lonely a minute of it, bro, because I'd be with me and I'm my favorite person. And how could I ever be lonely when I'm with my favorite person, nephew? Come on now. I need you to get it together.
Although to be fair, being in Superman's headquarters would be pretty badass, though.
Oh, bro, that's Fortress of Solitude. I'd never really, hey, shout out to Kevin Gates. Isolation,
Absolutely.
elevation, and spend some time alone and elevate yourself.
Yep,
So,
absolutely.
Unless anybody in the chat has any further questions, that's probably going to do it for tonight's Ask Your Favorite Uncles.
Yeah, very nice.
So look, we're going to be back Thursday night with Bumble this week. And then, Johnny, next Friday, not this Friday, but next Friday, August 8th, I got a tattoo session I'm going to live stream. I did it on Facebook. It didn't turn out how I wanted it last time. So I think I'm going to do it on TikTok, but I'll put the link up on Facebook for the TikTok stream. I've been wanting to do more on TikTok. So I'm getting Dempsey blasted across my stomach, and I'm going to live stream it.
And so will she. Anyway, so yeah, guys, remember, make good decisions, do the right things. Remember, if you drink, don't drive. And if you drive, don't park, because accidents cause people. Good night.